Yo, welcome back to Herbistry420. I'm your host, 40. So today we're doing something a bit different. As you can hear, I'm still a bit sick, huh? But I did this last week on the weekend. One night I got super stoned and I decided, you know what? I'm gonna upgrade my arcade stick, which is this thing right here, right? It comes with a joystick like such, and it comes with these buttons. Now, this is a pretty entry-level arcade stick. It's the MayFlash F300. And the joystick and the buttons are pretty crap, right? But it's a pretty nice controller, and if you replace the joystick and the buttons, you have a monster controller for cheap, right? I think I spent 50 bucks for the extra joystick and the buttons, and then as far as this is concerned, I don't remember how much I paid for it, but the quality of it after the upgrade is well over a $200 or euro arcade stick, right? So the reason I'm making this video is because I looked online and all of the replacements, people replace with exactly this same type one, just the Sanwa version, so a little ball on top, etc. And it comes with a cable that comes from this controller that you could put on the board in here. Let me show you on the other camera, right? I'm gonna move this out of the way and check this out, right? So over here in this controller board, you probably cannot see, but back behind here, there's a place where you can put a cable. The thing is, this is the joystick right here. So I get super stoned and I take this apart because I've already watched the YouTube video that says, hey, all you have to do is put this cable, screw in the things, whatever. And I go and there's no place for a cable. The stick didn't come with a cable, and the reason is because I bought a stick that's different, right? And so I'll leave a link to the stick I bought, the buttons I bought, etc. Replacing the buttons is pretty easy. Let me show you on the other one. There's like a little clip on the top and bottom. If you press them together, the buttons pop out, right? So I'll go ahead and do it in one just so you can see. And you can see right here, it just pops out. And when you put it back in, so if you're upgrading or whatever, it's super easy. You just pop it back in place. And of course, this is easier when you're not trying to do it for the camera, right? Why is it doing this? It's always, there we go. Anyway, so then you just pull this cable, the wires out, and you put it on the new button. So I'll show you on one of these other buttons. It's just you slide on and off these little cables, super easy. So changing the buttons, super easy. The thing is with this particular joystick, online only showed the replacement that had the ball head that had this cable that you run into the board here. The thing is this one didn't have one, so I realized what I had to do. The problem was there was no instructions, and what I had to do was I had to solder. Now here's where it gets interesting, right? Let me show you on the other camera. If you look right here, there are three locations for cables on every single port. So there's four, so left, right, up, down, whatever. This plate could only go one of two ways. So when I installed it and I connected everything, I guessed where I was going to solder the wires, right? Because I looked at the other one and I said, you know what? I'm just going to pick one of the two. If you look here, right? Each of them have two next to each other. I picked the one away from this on all of them. I wasn't sure if it was going to work. On top of it, I'm super stoned. And this was a way bigger project than you want to take on when you're that high. But I'm really good with, I'm really crafty, I'm good with electronics, and I thought, you know what, even though it's a bit more than I wanted to bite off right now, I did it. I soldered all the wires on, and then when I connected it to the Xbox, I have an Xbox Series X, all of a sudden, up was down and down was up. So what I did is I opened it up, I turned it around, and as soon as I turned it around, everything worked flawlessly. Let me show you on the Xbox how this works, but the point of this video really is if you have a controller that has three of these potential wirings per directional, so left, right, up, down, etc., then you're going to want to solder on the single port and then the one away. Because I saw zero instructions, I didn't see any videos about this, and it was purely a guess that ended up working, right? So let me go ahead and screw this back together. I'll show you a quick preview, playing Galaga real quick. And I love to be stoned and play old arcade games, huh? So, another thing to take note, right? When you put this piece back on, make sure you're using the right Phillips head, right? So I have a small Phillips screwdriver set right here, and this is a Phillips head 2. If you use a 1, you're going to strip the screws. So just keep that in mind, huh? All right, let me show you something. It's important to note the 6 screws that I took out, right, are 1, 2, 3, and then the same on the other side. These are just to hold these little bumpers on, so don't worry about that. Another thing to note is in order to use this with the Xbox Series X or S, you're going to need to connect your regular controller, right, with a USB-C going into the controller, regular USB coming out here into the back of this stick. And when you do that, that's what's going to allow it to control the Xbox Series X. If you do not connect the original controller, it will not work. Also, if you look right here on this lastmost button, make sure it's set to the joystick, right? Which I think is in the middle. So if it's all the way down this switch on the left, or it's all the way up, it won't work. It has to be on the middle, which says that you're using the joystick. Let me go plug it into the Xbox because I disconnected it in order for us to unscrew this. I didn't want anything screwy to happen, etc. All right, so I plugged in the controller and here we are. A couple things to note. Check this shirt out, yo. It's one of my paintings that I turned into a t-shirt. I'm thinking about releasing it. Anyways, if you guys like it, leave it in the comments. So right now I've got the Xbox open and you'll notice that because the other controller is on, connected, you might want to go ahead and press the X to start the Xbox. Once it's on and this is connected as such, making sure this switch is set to the controller, making sure this is plugged into the back, then I can control everything here. So let's just go. I have Galaga. And we will go ahead and start the game, play it for a second just to show you. It's such a different experience than the handheld controller. I'm gonna go ahead and turn this down a hair. It's such a different experience and definitely fun. When in the 80s, when I was first in the arcades, as a young kid, I played Street Fighter, right? And I was somebody that if I played Street Fighter, once I got on that, you couldn't get me off the game. 1 quarter, I could play for hours, beating every single person I played. So one of the motivations to get one of these. Anyways, I really like Galaga 2. I'll go ahead and start it. And let's check it out, baby. Uh-oh. Now for sure it'd be super cool to have 2 of these playing tandem, but I don't have friends coming over to play games very often, so I have never invested in one, huh? This reminds me, when I was younger, my mom used to take us to this place called Numero Uno. It was a pizza place in Los Angeles. And first of all, amazing pizza. But they always had like a desk, like a little tabletop arcade that had Galaga and Pac-Man in it. And I really loved playing it, huh? So this brings me back, baby. Anyways, guys, I know this is not the normal type of video that I make, but hopefully you guys found it useful and I'm trying not to die on the first level. Come on, baby! Woo! Oh, I'm not even super stoned right now. It's because I'm sick, but I will get stoned shortly. All right, guys, I hope you like this video. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments. I'll do my best to answer. I'll leave a link on where you can get one of these controllers. Let me just go ahead and turn this. There we go. So I'll leave a link where I got the controller, the buttons, if you need one of these sets that you could use that has all the tiny little Phillips heads and also flat screwdriver heads, etc. If you have questions, leave them in the comments. Guys, I hope you liked the video. If you did, please like, share, subscribe. You know the deal, baby. Till next time.